Just the on-flow of fatigue, having a lot of trouble with reflux, and noticed a lot of colour coming out of my skin, as in just like a very grey colour to my face and stuff like that. And just, I think basically the fatigue was probably the real big one, just knowing that just couldn't last the entire day, and it just got worse and worse over about a week or two. Being reasonably fit before it all happened, and knowing that I used to work big long hours, didn't have any trouble with long days, physical activity, anything like that, and just getting to a stage where it was like 9 or 10 in the morning and having nothing left. There was just nothing in the tank, and as it progressed, I think it just got worse and worse and worse fairly quickly, and that's when I sort of really came to the conclusion that, you know, something must be really badly wrong. Just knowing that, you know, past experience could sort of, you know, put up with being a bit crook or, you know, not feeling the greatest for weeks on end, and it surpassed, but this just didn't go anywhere. It just seemed to sort of keep getting worse and worse. It wasn't long, like I say, roughly 2 weeks, and I just knew that there was definitely something pretty severe that just wasn't getting any better. They just instantly knew that there was a perforated ulcer, rushed me to hospital, and then basically after that they sort of said, we've fixed the ulcer after having doing it laparoscopically, but yeah, the bad news is the reason the ulcer is there is due to cancer, and stomach cancer. So that's sort of how we found out. I guess it was almost, could you say, a blessing in disguise that the ulcer actually perforated, and then they found the cancer. So we actually didn't know that all of the symptoms were a flow on from what the cancer was creating in the top of my stomach. Interestingly, it started off with that they were obviously going to have to remove part of my stomach, was the initial thoughts on it, which, you know, that gives you a bit of a fright right from the word go. But then I guess you hear of people that have their stomachs stapled, and that doesn't seem like too bad an option. And then they talked a little bit about chemo, and, you know, I've sort of know a few people that have been through that, so sort of was pretty concerned about how that was going to roll out. And then it sort of just, as information started to come to the surgeons and the team that we were dealing with, it wasn't long before they said, you know, look, everything's got to come out, basically from just below your esophagus to the bottom of the stomach, everything. There's all sorts of doubt, or, you know, you sort of, and a little bit of frustration. It's like, you know, God, do we really have to? And then I guess as you start to talk to people like my partner and brothers and stuff like that, and it's like, you know, don't risk it, you know. And I guess you look for some sort of reassurance from people you trust, and just put a little bit of faith in what you think that they're doing in your best interest. And yeah, and it was just decided to completely remove it. If you think something's not right, get it checked. If something's not repairing or getting better, get it checked. Knowing that I was probably eating a dozen quickies a day, you sort of suddenly, it's like a light goes on eventually, and it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Something's not right. You've got to go and get it checked. This whole she'll be right or it'll come right, you know, those days are over now. You know, it's not expensive to go and get it looked at compared to the expense of what you've got to go through if you didn't get it diagnosed, you know. And pretty glad that I haven't paid the ultimate expense.